This video is sponsored by Skillshare. More on that in a second. The McLaren Mp4-12c is a poorly designed car. It's a great supercar, but a poorly designed car. It's a bit of an overstatement. I actually love the car myself, but there are a few things that do annoy me. They are nitpicks. I understand that I am picking at this car. This car is a great car. It's probably one of my favorite cars that I've ever owned, and it's for obvious reason. It's a great car, but there are things that I feel like McLaren did overlook when designing this car. So today I'm gonna go ahead and be giving you guys a few things that I absolutely hate about my McLaren Mp4-12c. I wouldn't even say I hate them. They're just little annoyances. I still love the car. I've owned the car for about a month here, and you might be wondering, well, how can you hate anything about the car that you've barely had? That goes to say a lot. There are some things that are just annoying about this car. So let me just go ahead and dive right in. And before, like I said, I do love the car, so don't go flame me up in the comments and say, Drew, you're ungrateful, you just bought this car. I wish I could have that car. I love the car. I'm very grateful I have this car. I'm just saying there are a few minor annoyances. Anyways, let's go ahead and let's start with, how do you get in? I covered this in my introduction video or my reveal, and it is a very cool feature. There are no buttons or levers or anything latches to open it up. You simply slide your hand, which you would think, wow, that is so cool, it's very dope. Wow, I wish my car didn't have any buttons like that. It is. It's a very cool feature. I love it. But my guests don't, when they don't know how to open the door. It could be anyone, my girlfriend, some of my friends. When they're going and they're trying to climb in, they're just over here swiping it like it's a damn credit card, like it's that damn card reader in Among Us. I know, an outdated Among Us reference. Drew, what is this, 2020? I'm sorry, but it's true. You have to like do it a precise way, not too fast, not too slow. And even on repeat guests or repeat riders, it is kind of a nuisance, because every single time I climb in and my passengers are wondering, how the fuck do I get in this car? It's not working. This car's a piece of shit. When it's not, you know, and it works fine. Now, keeping it door themed, once you have the door open and you climb in, if you've ever ridden in one of these, the owner always tells you, slam the door. And it feels really bad when you're going and you're slamming a $100,000+ car door. I'm not gonna do it because I already went and modified that. I went and installed some soft closed door latches, but for the first couple weeks of ownership, you would have to climb into this car and literally slam that shit like it is a clapped out Honda Civic, like the things are rusty or something, because it will not close. And if you don't do it right, you're gonna get plenty of warnings. You can't even put the car in drive or gear or anything like that. So it's just one of those things that's super annoying. And then you'd have to tell your passenger, no, slam it. They'd go and they'd slam it sort of hard. No, harder, harder, harder. And it's just one of those things where it's a little annoying. It's also not good for all of the electronic components in your door. These screens are notorious for breaking, and I have a feeling it's directly related to the slamming. Like I said, I put soft closed door latches and it closes nice and soft, as McLaren should have designed it from the beginning. How can they go and make it so you open the car door, super cool and fancy, but then you have to slam that shit? It just baffles me. I don't know. Maybe it was a feature on different ones. Mine didn't come with it. I installed them and now I love it. Keeping it door themed, let's say you just pull up to a car meet, you go and you swing open the doors. It looks really sick, you know, you got the doors up in the air. But what doesn't look really sick is the amount of dirt and crud that gets stuck to your underside. You have to keep in mind that that is the closest thing to the road, and it is going to attract a lot of dirt and crud, and you don't look super cool when the undersides are dirty. Now, I did go and ceramic coat it with some of the like turtle wax shit that they sell at AutoZone, and the car looks great. It's actually been rained on and I haven't washed it in a couple weeks, and it looks like I just cleaned it. Like, there are no water spots. It is really good product. Maybe I'll make a video on that later, but it still is no fucking challenge for the dirt. Dirt just goes ahead and sticks to it. I mean, this is like a leaf or something, but I mean, it does come like right off, but it's still like, you got to get out and then go ahead and wax this or quick detail it. And it's just like, sorry guys, it's a cool supercar, but look how dirty it is. It's right up in your face. And again, nitpick, not an everyday scenario, but it is still one of those things where it's like, ugh, God, I wish this had like some sort of black skirt or something, or it was wrapped black, and you know, it wouldn't be super noticeable. But no, it's silver. It is paint protected though. I don't know if that's factory or someone did that, but it's just one of those things. Keeping the theme sort of with the exterior, looking at the rear wheels. It's a good looking wheel. No complaints too much about the wheel. These are the forged lightweight option, which is pretty cool, but they don't fit very well. I mean, you could see the shadow casted from the tuck of the fender. I mean, they're good couple fingers tucked, and that's I mean, for supercar quality, I mean, it's like, it's okay, but I would have just hoped that it would be a little bit more flush and look a bit cleaner. The fronts aren't as bad, and I don't really want them to stick out anyways, because if they kick out rocks and they start chipping up the little fins right here, which they already have, it looks like, it's just one of those things where it's like the rears, I mean, they're already 305s. Why not go ahead and just make them sit really nice and flush? Like, I don't know, it's one of those things where it's just like, no one really notices it. It still looks like a supercar, but it's just like, come on, man, like, I gotta get wheels now, or spacers or whatever, but everything for this car is so stupid expensive that it hurts. Obviously a nitpick, but still one of those things that hurts me to look at every single day. Before the next one, let me tell you about this video's sponsor. Big thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. A few class topics that I think you guys would be interested in is photography, film and video, and even lifestyle. Personally, one Skillshare class that really interests me is Ryan Booth's DIY cinematography, make your video look like a movie. You guys know that my cinematography skills are pretty ass, so this would really enhance my car edits and just make my channel look overall way more professional. Skillshare is great because it's curated specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads and there are always new premium classes launching, so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. Skillshare is also incredibly affordable. It is less than $10 a month with an annual subscription, so instead of wasting that with another streaming service, use that $10 to enhance your skills. No matter what 2021 brings you, you can spend it creating something meaningful with Skillshare's online classes, because time is what we make of it. With Skillshare, you can find inspiration in the moment and learn how to express your creativity, bring color and beauty and fun to your year. Add vivid details to your craft with complex wonders. Tap into the support of fellow creators who provide encouragement, communication, and inspiration. When you join, you can try one of Skillshare's new live classes, experience real-time inspiration as you connect with popular teachers while watching and working along with other members. With all of this newly found downtime on our hands, now is the time to do that thing that you've always wanted to do, so enhance your skills on Skillshare right now. The first 1,000 people to use this link will get a free trial to Skillshare Premium membership. Click the link in my description to join Skillshare. Remember guys, the sky is the limit. Enhance your skills. Go do it. This next one kind of follows in line with what I was just talking about, and that's how everything for this car is ridiculously expensive. If I wanted to go buy wheels, I can't just go out and buy some reps. I can't go out and buy some cheap wheels. I got to get something that holds a value, that's expensive. You can't go and put, no offense to ESR, I can't just put ESRs on this for obvious reasons. And it's like, to find the perfect wheel, it has been a nightmare because there are so many good options out there, but then the options that I like are super expensive. BBS has a sick monoblock. I hit them up and I think it was like $2,600 a wheel, which is ridiculous. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, I'm not trying to do all that. I'm not trying to spend $2,600 a wheel on this. I mean, it's a great car, but damn, like, it's probably gonna see track time like once or twice in its life, and that's a lot of money to spend on a wheel. But just everything else aligned with it, like any carbon fiber parts, triple the value. Anything that I would buy for the super carbon fiber, triple times the value for a McLaren, if not more. Like even something as simple as these mirrors, if I were to buy a carbon fiber version of it, looking easily over $1,000. I mean, it's just ridiculous. If I were to go into the interior, if I were to go ahead and replace all of this silver stuff, the silver plastic, in the interior with carbon fiber, you would think like, oh, maybe like $1,500 to $2,000. No, we're talking like $4 grand for a kit. Like, that'll maybe save like £1. Like, come on, man. But while we're in the interior, I can go ahead and mention a few of the really annoying interior things that, these probably annoy me the most, and this is one of them. If I go ahead and I turn on the car's on, okay? I have to buckle up 1 second. If I'm buckled up and there is anything on the passenger seat, like, and I mean anything, my phone just sitting on here, it's gonna throw, I don't know if you guys can see it, it's gonna throw a passenger seatbelt light on for anything. It is super sensitive. I just have my hand placed here. I'm not even pressing hard. It's literally just placed, and it's throwing the code at me right now, and it'll just beep. It'll throw the chime up, it'll throw a little warning on the screen saying, oh, buckle up, passenger. You know, tell your fucking light 1 pound passenger to buckle up. They weigh about as much as a piece of paper, but tell them to buckle up. Like, it is super, this thing is probably the most annoying thing in the car because I can't place anything here without buckling it up. I'm sure you guys are probably not believing me. Here's a phone. I'm gonna place it on here, okay? Phone's on there. Of course, when I'm trying to demonstrate it, it won't do it because that's how recording works, but it does. I mean, it is one of those things where it'll just go ahead and throw some sort of code trying to get it to do it. It won't because, of course, it's inconsistent because it's a McLaren. Anyway, staying in the interior, one thing that also is super annoying is this really dumb infotainment system. It's like Android powered, so you know it's automatically trash, and it is just probably the dumbest thing ever. It says no sources available. My phone is plugged in. I mean, yeah, it's plugged in, is it? Yep, it's plugged in. Just wanted to double check. No sources available. It's just, it's not reading it, even though it is definitely plugged in. I was just listening to music. It's just one of those things where it's like, could have been a little bit better designed. This is the Iris 1 system. There is an Iris 2 system, but apparently it's not as responsive when you're touching the screen. It has a couple features. You have phone, radio, and nav. Apparently nav is completely pointless. I don't even want to load it up because it's probably gonna make the whole car crash. You know, I'll try it. Let's see where it thinks I'm at right now. Yep, that's it's not where I'm at. I'm not in Philadelphia. Sorry, nav, I'm not there. So yeah, it just goes to show that the infotainment and all this stuff, really dumb. And also it's having trouble loading Virginia. So yeah, let's just move on to the next thing. There's really not too many things I don't like in here. Wow, this is, Drew hit the gym. There's not too many things I don't really like about the interior. I think for the most part, let me climb out. The interior isn't half bad. It could be a little bit better. It is obviously a little dated, being that the car is a 2012, but for the most part, I mean, I think the interior is honestly really nice. I mean, the heated seats too, they cook my cheeks like no tomorrow. You know what? Scratch that. Fuck that. Let me go back into the interior and show you one last thing. It's not really an interior issue as much as it is an exterior issue, but going back into the interior, let me show you one thing that I think is pretty fucking dumb. If we turn on the car and we look in the rearview mirror, it's gonna be hard to see. But one, there's a mean glare from the motor. And I mean mean, like, can't really see shit behind you. I mean, you can kind of see that car back there, but can't see shit. You wanna make it worse? Put up the fucking wing. Now, what visibility you did have is cut in half. And when you hit the air brake, completely gone. Can't see jack shit, and that is really scary because you'll be hitting the brakes and you'll be stopping with the force of a fucking tank, and you can't see if someone's about to rear end you, and that is horrifying. Can't tell if there's a cop. You can't see anything out of the back. And I mean, again, not so much a interior issue as it is just a performance trade-off, I guess. If you want to air brake, you're gonna be fucking blind. They should have made it like see-through or something. That would have been kind of cool, but they didn't think about it. I mean, the wing on the exterior does look kind of sick. It's not like, you know, obviously in air brake mode right now, but it does look pretty sick. I might need to start parking it with it up more because that looks pretty fucking rad. But still, you know, fuck you. I can't see jack shit, man. You're gonna cause an accident. I'm running out of things to dislike about this car. It seems like the list is kind of long, but everything that I've talked about so far is kind of minor, except for this one thing. I wish it sounded a little bit better. It's a great sounding car. It's a twin turbo V8, small V8. I mean, we're talking like 3.8 liters, tiny V8, but it just doesn't sound all that great. I mean, I don't really want to turn it on and rev it here. I'll go ahead and probably throw in a couple clips of some stock Mp4-12cs. Mine does have the sport exhaust, so it sounds a little bit better, but there is a lot to be desired with it. Obviously, this is stock, road legal as is, and it sounds good for that. But it just, compared to all my other cars, it's probably one of the quietest. It sounds good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing how it sounds. It's a good sounding car. Just there's a lot to be desired. And then if you want to go ahead and do all that, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, which isn't too great. You know, usually an exhaust system, if you want just like some sort of muffler or something, not too expensive. If you want a full exhaust system for this car, one that comes to mind is the Aquaprovic exhaust system. It's going to run you about $8,000 plus some sort of tune with it. So you're looking at minimum $10,000 to $12,000 for an exhaust system if you go ahead and buy one. If you make one yourself, you can get away with it and you can actually make it sound really sick. But just as is, it's like, it's got a lot to be desired. And the tips too, they don't have that shine. I'm sure if these were a little bit more polished, it would look a little bit better. Or if they were like carbon fiber, it would look really sick. But again, there's just a little bit to be desired there. but it's still a great car. I don't want you to leave this video thinking that I am ungrateful and I hate my car. I love this car. It is my favorite car to drive and to just go anywhere, just because of what it is. I mean, it drives super smooth, it is super fun, and it looks really good, in my opinion. I think, you know, there's some things about it that can look a bit better, such as the wheels, and I think the front bumper is a little bit outdated, but I mean, it's still a fucking supercar, and it still looks great. Sorry, the sun isn't doing it justice, but there's a few things to be desired. Nothing too major, nothing deal breaking for sure. There's just a few little annoyances that you have to be ready for when owning one of these. Do I regret my purchase? No, I am super happy with the car, and I am super excited to start actually doing things to it. First thing is probably wheels, but I'm gonna wait for these tires to give out. But the car, I mean, it is what it is. I think you know, when you get it to this level of performance, there's gonna be some trade-offs. I'm happy that the trade-offs are what they are. It could be a lot worse, but for what it is, I'm very happy. So anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this video. I will be making another video about things I love about it in the future. Let me know which one of these annoyances would be the worst, or some of the annoyances that you have on your car. I'd actually be really interested to hear that, see if some of these annoyances are similar on some other cars. Let me know down in the comments. The sun is blinding me. I'm wearing sunglasses and it is still blinding me. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, guys. Click the link in my description right now. It'll help out the channel a lot. Thank you, guys. Anyways, until next video, peace.